It's a Category 5 now, and Hurricane Ivan is following Charlie and Francis's lead and could be heading right for Florida as the evacuations begin again. That story on LAX 18 News at noon. And good afternoon to you. I'm John McGarry.
And I'm Dia Davidson. Thanks for watching LAX 18 News at noon. It is packing winds of 210 miles an hour. Now Hurricane Ivan is being blamed for at least 16 deaths, and that happened when it was rated as a Category 3. The monster hurricane is now listed as a Category 5 storm, and this is what Ivan did to the island nation of Grenada. According to the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Response Agency, Ivan damaged 90% of Grenada's buildings. Officials estimate 90% of the island's homes have also been badly damaged or destroyed. Prisoners are on the loose there after a stone prison collapsed. Meanwhile, Ivan tore off roofs, uprooted trees, and downed power lines as it swept through Barbados. The hurricane damaged at least 170 homes, with the gusts reaching 90 miles an hour. Ivan's now moving through the Caribbean and is expected to hit Jamaica tomorrow before possibly moving on to Cuba and the U.S. Now, some forecasters say it's still too soon to say whether Ivan will hit the U.S. coast, but some Kentucky rescue workers in Florida cleaning up after the previous two hurricanes are making plans to perhaps evacuate a second time in preparation for Ivan. A fiery crash turned deadly along Interstate 75 when a semi-truck collided with a car, killing one person. It happened last night around 8:30 in Rockcastle County, and it took crews about 8 hours to clean up and open the northbound lanes. Kelly Som has that story.
Covering the news in Rockcastle County, Kelly Som, LAX 18 News.
The trucking company involved is out of Columbus, Ohio. The name of the driver who was killed has not yet been released. Another crash yesterday happened along the same stretch of the interstate. This time a woman from Mississippi was killed. Police say her vehicle crossed the median and hit a semi head-on. Overseas, police discovered explosives, detonators, and a gun at a cinema in St. Petersburg, Russia earlier today.
The Interior Ministry...
Well, you could call it a puppy's revenge. A Florida man was trying to shoot 7 unwanted puppies when one of them shot him. The man had killed 3 when he was trying to shoot the 4th. The puppy he was holding caused the gun to go off, shooting him in the wrist. When he went to the ER, the shooting was reported to authorities, and the man was charged with felony animal cruelty. The remaining 4 puppies were spared and will be put up for adoption, and the mother may go back to her original owner. Well, $200,000 turned up missing, and now a fire chief is out of a job. We'll have the latest on that investigation straight ahead.
And a Kentucky man who says alcohol withdrawal caused him to attempt an attack on a Greyhound bus driver finds out just how long he's going to spend behind bars. Stay with us. Well, the world's largest automaker wants you to come in and take a look at what they have to offer.
They're even willing to help pay for your new ride. We'll explain next on LAX 18 News at 12:30. Economists lower their economic outlook. Hasbro recalls toy monster rockets, and Cracker Barrel settles discrimination cases.
Lori Rothman has more from the New York Stock Exchange and the LAX 18 Bloomberg Noon Report.
For some people, the potential arrival of Hurricane Ivan marks a turning point. After all the damage and evacuation, some are ready to move out for a longer period of time. One of those is Marge Williams, who has family in Lexington and is planning to come up for the West Palm Beach area to avoid Ivan completely. Marge is on the phone with us live now. Marge, you're not going to try to ride this one out, eh?
I don't think so.
This will be, perhaps, if it comes your way, the 3rd hurricane that Florida's been struck by this season. Any thought of moving for good?
Yes.
There's no place like Kentucky, but sometimes when you look closer, another thought comes to mind. This place is a dump. These men now being tried in criminal court appear to be dumping raw sewage, then covering it up. In August, a scenic overlook in Taylor County is just a convenient backdrop for these women who stopped to wave at a passing school bus, then litter the valley with garbage. In Marion County, this pair appears to have synchronized their throwaway art. Many illegal dumpers are just thoughtless, and some appear heartless. In Bell County, a man leaves man's best friend to fend for itself. It's not an uncommon scene. These offenders are just a tiny fraction of the people ravaging a commonwealth known for its uncommon beauty.
And I would say it's a fair guess to say there's at least 10 illegal dumps in each county. So do the math, and it's a big problem.
Big enough to threaten more than a pretty view, illegal dumps often leak into streams and rivers. 2 years ago, the state launched a new cleanup effort, sorting through garbage bags for incriminating evidence and hiding digital video cameras to record the crimes. The cameras catch amazing scenes, such as this pair accidentally backing their car over a small cliff at a dump site. The surveillance video is useful if investigators find someone who recognizes the dumpers.
And these are the people that we have caught in the act of illegal dumping.
But on this day, a trip to the sheriff's department,
That truck looks familiar, but he don't.
the post office,
And now he's going to get rid of some more beer.
and a state police post produced nothing, though later a Bell County man is caught by a trooper with a photo. Sometimes Kentucky's illegal dumping dilemma can remind you of the old question, if a tree falls in the woods and no one sees it, does it make a sound? In the case of this dump near the Woodford-Franklin County border, people may not hear a washing machine tumbling down the hill, but they most definitely see the aftermath.
Kentucky's supposed to be beautiful, the most beautiful state there is. The most disgusting part is, if you look close, Kentucky's not that beautiful.
But sometimes they don't get away. In March, Curtis Myers was caught dumping chicken carcasses at this Floyd County dump.
They fined me $5,000, but they lowered it to $500. I had to haul 4 tons of garbage off. You know, it's pretty rough getting 4 tons of garbage on a pickup truck.
Others plead ignorance or try to deny the undeniable.
I had one man tell me, that's my toilet, I don't know how it got down there.
Investigators know changing the ways of people who don't believe they're doing anything wrong or don't care will take time. Until then, these candid cameras will keep rolling.
If you're going to do it, smile and wave so that we can get a good picture of you. You will never, ever know where we are and what the cameras are doing.
John McGarry joins us now live from Danville, where President Bush surfaced on some money. Right, John?
Nancy, this has turned into a bit of a political story, and no matter how you feel about the election of President Bush, we should point out that normally you have to have been deceased for many years to have your face on a bill or a coin. So there might be people who would argue that it's hardly fair that President Bush has his face on one just a couple of weeks after taking office. He won one of the narrowest presidential elections in U.S. history, and as critics might argue, W deserves to be on a bogus bill. Now that $200 greenback has brought this Danville Dairy Queen a blizzard of national attention and an evolving storyline.
What had happened was the cashier had mistaken it for a $100 bill. It had originally been reported that we gave back $198 or something like that, but it was only $98.
Plus the $2.12 worth of food. Danville police say this moral legal tender, complete with oil derricks and pro-tax cut message, isn't quite counterfeit. DQ's manager says there's no time to make a drive-through transaction a history test.
When I'm taking a bill, I will look on the corners to see what denomination it is to verify it is $1 or a $5 or whatever, but I will not look at the president.
Some Democrats say Republicans stole the election. Danville police say someone practiced theft by deception. And Dairy Queen brass say they may turn a profit.
We've had our own $200 bills printed with coupons on the back to distribute it throughout the community, so we're going to play off this advertising a little bit.
And they are getting national advertising all the way to Washington. Here is that coupon itself. Dairy Queen on the middle instead of George Bush, but it does have the 200 sign on each corner, and it says, buy one 16-ounce Blizzard, get one free. It does note this has no cash value. Usually, the 90 or so men of this infantry unit meet once a month and 2 weeks a year. Now they'll spend an estimated 6 months together, apart from their loved ones.
I don't want to leave them, but yet I know, I've got the job to do. So I just go ahead and do it and try to push, the sadness away.
Most of the men of Company B will tell you they never imagined being part of the largest National Guard deployment since World War II. So will their spouses, at least one of whom may be a mom before dad comes home.
They tell us that they're going to do everything they can to get them back for the delivery and the baby, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. The mission comes first.
As the time to leave draws closer, some smiles begin to fade. Guardsmen set aside their M16s to hold their children. Young boys are about to become the man of the house.
I'm proud of him because he's manning up to take the job.
It's not dawn yet, and Company B is boarding 2 buses. Spouses, children, even parents wait for a final wave, hoping they'll be home in 6 months, knowing there's no guarantee. The guardsmen roll off, and their loved ones reach for each other.
And tonight, the Atlanta Braves are playing in New York. John Rocker's first appearance in New York since he made those comments in Sports Illustrated. 2 beer limit at Shea Stadium.
Wow.
All weekend.
For Rocker or the fans?
Well, maybe both.
And the new UK football quarterback is going to be, shall we open it up, Bart? There it is, the lefty John McGarry.
at a hefty 6'4", 275-pound John McGarry, the new UK quarterback when they open the season against Louisville. What do you think about that, guys?
Well,
I think you got the weight wrong, pal.
Well, more coming up in sports as the Cats get ready for the Hawkeyes. Oh, look, Jason found a shell.
I hear the ocean.
We are at the beach. Reporting live from the LEX 18 Mobile Newsroom at Jones Beach at True Blue, New York. Back to you guys.
Hey guys, Bill Meck says he's paying cash to the first one who takes a dip.
No way.
You'll have to bail us out. We're not allowed to.
How many are they expecting?
Probably around 125, 130,000. Last year's crowd was about 10,000 lower than the year before. And there was a lot of speculation that had mostly to do with coolers. There used to be an art here at Churchill Downs to smuggling in things you're not supposed to smuggle in coolers, and you just can't try that anymore.